Yes, this episode was an absolute madness. I've got my porn star martini here. Let's get into it.
Aleisha Lee review Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. Aleisha Lee review Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Wow, what an episode this was. And I believe that this episode was basically just an episode to make us laugh before all the crying, all the tears, because I can feel it. They're gonna just, let's get straight into it. We start off with Jaime in court. Now he's got everyone there, everyone watching him. He's in the middle, and basically Daenerys is onto him for what happened with her father. Obviously he's known as the Kingslayer, and she's onto him. She's basically like, why are you here? Where's the army? What's going on? Cersei promised me an army. What's going on? You killed my dad. Jaime just is like, I am not sorry for what I've done. I will do it again. I've done that for my family, and I'm not sorry, because even Sansa chipped in, and when Daenerys was going off and was like, yeah, you attacked my dad in the street, like, I know about you. And then that's when we get Brienne of Tarth. She's just wonderful, Brienne. She steps in and basically defends Jaime and says, you know, the reason why he lost his hand was because he was protecting me from people that were trying it on with me. And this was back in a few seasons. Basically, you get to see the start of their relationship. She stood up for him. And Sansa was like, well, do you trust him with your life? Would you fight beside him? Brienne's like, yeah. Sansa's like, well, cool, you can stay then. Daenerys, boy, you know she was not impressed. She asked Jon, what does he think, being as he's Warden of the North? What does he think? We need all the men we can get. You sure do, because the Night King and his army. Daenerys was not happy with Tyrion. Obviously, Tyrion was the one that explained to her that Cersei would be fine with it, and Cersei would send over soldiers to help them fight. And obviously, he was wrong. She was like, it's either you're a traitor or you're a fool. Tyrion was like, I'm a fool, I'm a fool. He really believed Cersei, and he thought that she was going to help along with the fight, but no. Jaime let it be known in the courtroom that Cersei isn't coming with anything. She fooled everybody, and she's looking to basically, once they've dealt with the Night King, she's looking to be ready for war with them and make sure she stays on top of the Iron Throne. After that, we get to see Arya and Gendry, and Arya basically makes it known to Gendry, I'm good in this fight, I've got this, I'm not staying in no crypt, I'll be out on the front line fighting. So Gendry, make sure you sort out my weapon. She basically just goes mad with some dragon glass on the wall. The poor geezer, the poor old guy that was just by there just thinking, I'm gonna lose my life. Yeah, can you imagine? Arya just boop, boop, boop. And you know, Gendry was feeling that. He was enjoying that, like, yes, okay, cool, let me get onto her weapon star, because she ready for the war. After that, we get to see Jaime and Bran, and it was good to see this reunion. And I think it was more so a relief for Jaime to hear Bran. He also explains why he didn't let everybody else know what Jaime had done to him, that it was actually Jaime that pushed him off the tower. And Jaime asks, like, why, you know, I'm sorry for what I did to you. And Bran is like, you know, you weren't sorry then, you were doing what was right for your house. So in a way, he kind of understands. He's not saying that it's right what he done, but he understands, like, you know, what his reasoning was, and the person that he was then, he's no longer that person now. And if that event didn't happen, both of them wouldn't be the people that they are today. And it was quite interesting when Jaime was like, okay, so what's going to happen after the fight? Bran's like, how do you know there's gonna be an after? I said, Jaime, I got dead. Jaime, I got dead. I'm gonna prepare you guys for the next episode. You know, a lot of our faves are out, innit? I'm trying to prepare myself, because I'm telling you, that's why they was giving us so much jokes and banter this episode, because they know that we're going to be crying. The rest of the episode, we're going to be crying real tears. I hope you guys are ready. Bran knows something, you know, Three-Eyed Raven, he knows what's really good. After that, we see Jaime and Brienne having a talk, and it's so funny that the way that their relationship has just blossomed over the seasons. You can see that there's this awkward tension, but it's all out of love. I'm just hoping that we get to see them actually just make it official. Just please, guys, do something before it's the end. Just please get together. So they have a little bit of a talk, and Jaime says to Brienne that he wants to fight alongside her. She just awkwardly is like, I've got to go. because she's just overwhelmed that he's not being mean to her. They're actually getting to a place where like their feelings for each other are kind of surfacing. And I think as well with Brienne, she's always had these kinds of feelings, but she's never been in this situation before. She's never had to express herself in that way. She's always just been so strong, and she's not been in a situation where she's had these type of feelings for anyone. So she doesn't really know how to handle it, but it's quite interesting to see how this happens, and I hope they make it. I really do. Sansa and Daenerys, we see them having a chat, and at first everything seems to be going really nice, like they're getting to some common ground. You know, they're both strong women having to be in power, how they've been dealing with it. But then it gets a bit awkward because Sansa's like, okay, cool, so what happens after the war? And at first you can see like Sansa and Daenerys, they were all like hand touching and all of that, and the next minute you just see Daenerys hand us. I said, oh mate. And Saved by the Bell, just then they get an announcement. It's Theon with some of the soldiers, some of his crew. He wants to, along with his team, fight the good fight against the Night King, and Sansa is just so happy to see him. She gave him the biggest hug. She really feels a connection with Theon, and I think it's because of all of the stuff that they went through together with Bolton, that wicked you, Ramsay. Wicked you, oh my gosh, he was terrible. He was really bad. So because of all of that stuff that they've been through together, you can see that they've got a real bond and a real connection. So it was good to see, and it was nice that Theon is back. He's going to be helping and fighting alongside everybody in regards to this Night King situation, because Night King. Then we get to see a big meeting. Everybody is round the table discussing how they are going to fight this fight with the Night King coming, with the information that he will be there before morning. Oh gee. Bran explains that the Night King is after him. He's marked him, so he knows at all times where Bran is going to be. So they need to form some kind of trap for the Night King. This is just too nice to be true. It's too simple. The Night King, I know he's always one step ahead, and I don't think it's going to be as simple as they've made it out to be. They've been very blasé about this plan. Bran, you go over there. Yeah, let's go to bed now. No, we need to be doing much more planning. We need to plan some sort of evacuation, because I think that's the only way they're going to beat the Night King. They need to move away, think of another strategy, and then go for it. Do they know how to kill the Night King? Does Dragonfire kill them? And Bran said he don't know. No one's ever tried. I'm hoping that it does work. I'm hoping, because we've seen the Night King walk through fire. We've seen even the White Walker walk through fire. The only ones that we know definitely get killed by fire are the Whites. And the difference between White Walkers and Whites are basically ones that he touches. Those are White Walkers, because he's actually touched them. The ones that he just raises, just you see when he does that. Those are Whites. Just like Viserion, that's the dragon that the Night King now has. You saw that he actually touched him. So those are much more harder to kill, because they've actually been touched by the Night King. But you see the ones that have been raised, anything can kill them, like fire, burn them. We then see Missandei and Grey Worm, and I don't think Grey Worm's gonna make it. I really hope he does, but they gave us that moment for a reason. They want that. I'm telling you, next episode, we need to be prepared. We're going to be crying tears. Like, I'm not going to, even this episode, I was crying tears of joy this episode. But I know that the next one, it's just going to be pure sadness, because everyone's getting wiped out here. I'm just like hoping that some people survive. Please survive. One of them is just not going to make it. And obviously, Missandei is going to be down in the crypt, whereas Grey Worm is on the front line. So, and they're all talking about what they're going to do when they leave here. And after that, we see Sam and Jon. Sam asks Jon if he's told Daenerys yet, where Jon just gives him them, you know, them look that your parents give you when you've been like, shh, shut your mouth. It was one of those kinds of looks. So Sam just knew to kind of like, shh. And then after that, Edison comes in, and they have a bit of banter and a bit of a moment there. Edison says, whoever the last man standing is, burn the rest of us, because he's not trying to come back as one of those. We might be losing him the next episode. It's just too much. The next scene starts off with Jaime and Tyrion having a drink, having a moment, just catching up and thinking about the past. Then Brienne, Podrick come in, and then we see Tormund, Davos. It was just hilarious to see. Tormund is something else. He was basically explaining how he got the name Giantsbane, and basically drinking milk from giants' wives. and that's a giant that he killed when he was 10 years old. And this scene was absolutely hilarious. Everybody was looking at him like, this wildling, he's wild. He is actually wild. It's just good to capture their moments, just a moment of, you know, relaxation, a moment of calm before the storm, and everyone just having a joke, drinking wine. And we also get to see Brienne gets knighted. It was amazing. And you know, at first she was just like, oh, she doesn't want to get knighted, but you could see Podrick, Jaime were just like, come on girl, like for real, come sit down, come get knighted, come. And it was just brilliant. She was so glad. It did bring a little tear of joy to my eye. I think especially coming from Jaime, it was nice for her to finally get that recognition that she well deserves, that she deserved it. I was so happy for Brienne, and please, I hope she doesn't get taken next episode after she just get a good up knighted Sir Brienne. Then we get to see Podrick giving us a good sing-song. He's got a good voice. I'm like, wow, Podrick singing Jenny's song. And this is meant to be a song that has a lot of sad undertones. Whilst Podrick was singing, we're seeing flashes of these couples, and they're basically letting us know, like, yeah, everything's gonna get mashed up. Everything's gonna get mashed up. Like, this is their final moments. You're witnessing their final moments together, so cherish this. Arya and Gendry, and yes, they get it out. They get it out. I was just not expecting it. I didn't expect it. I just was like, they had a good time. So at least, you know, she can say that she's experienced love. Well, not love, but she just wanted to experience, you know. After that, we see Jorah and Lyanna. Lyanna is one badass little kid. I'm not gonna lie. She's like, I'm not going in no crypt. I'm fighting this war. I've trained my people. We're ready for this. That's what we're doing, yeah? So, you know, I wish you good fortune, cousin. Take care. I got this. He really tried to talk her out of it, explaining that she is the heir to their house, and she's like, I understand, but I'm going to fight this fight. I'm not going to be staying in no crypt. Later, Sam then comes, gives him a sword, a Valyrian steel, and says that he deserves to use it. Jorah says that he's going to wield it in his father's honor. Jon dropping it on Daenerys. Jon just let Daenerys know the whole truth, and I got to respect Jon for that. He couldn't handle it anymore. I think knowing what was at stake, knowing everything that's going on, he just had to tell Daenerys the truth, and he was basically like, listen, yeah, this is what it is. Daenerys, obviously, she reminded me of Jon when he was told by Sam. She's like, oh, so you're gonna really believe your brother and your friend, like, you know, your friend knows that I killed his parents, so it's a bit, you know, bit convenient that he's telling you that you're the heir to the Seven Kingdoms, you've got a better claim. And Jon was like, I believe him. After that, we hear the horns. Oh my days, I hate hearing those horns. I hate hearing those horns, because you just know the Night King and his army are nearby. Everybody gets in position. Everybody is ready now. I hope they're ready. I really do. That staff meeting, it was too quick. It was too quick. And the Night King, like I said, he's always a step ahead. The Night King's been the Night King for thousands of years. I think the Night King is somewhere around Winterfell, and I think he might find a way to get into the crypts. That's what I think, because Arya looks too scared from that trailer that we've seen. I am going to give this episode 9 Woiiiii out of 10. It was amazing. The way that they brought the cast together, moments of comedy throughout. It was hilarious, and I think that they're giving this to us because we're going to be crying for the rest of the season. I think there's going to be deaths that we're not going to get over. There's going to be things where we're like, oh my goodness, like really, like what? And it's going to be spectacular. That was my review of Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 2. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and be prepared for the next episode, because it is going to be a mad... I can't even talk. I'm shooketh. Looking forward to next week, but I'm not, because I know that it's going to take us out. I'll see you in my next video. Boy.
Tell me what you want now, people. Hold on, let me break it down. I know you want that new. I know you need that sound. Well, let me introduce myself. Yes, I am that girl in town.